Hello everyone and welcome. Today we'll be taking a look at a professional best of 3 series of StarCraft 2. Joining me here, map number 1 shall be Dynasty, the blue Terran in the upper right corner. Always, it feels a fan favorite, never quite know what to expect. It is GuMiho. And on the other side, the red probes, the red Protoss, none other than Classic. With a choice for the gateway. I mean, it's gonna be a Reaper wall, I can tell, but the gate here, I suppose this is better than putting it, up against the wall side. Because then if you were to mess up and have your adept pop out on the wrong side, they get stuck, we would all stop and laugh. And that's just not something that Classic wants to deal with. That's understandable. I do that frequently. And I don't usually like to laugh at myself in that situation either. It's more of a disappointment. GuMiho opening up Reaper, single gas. Looks like opting for that gold base command center. Since the map is Dynasty, the players do have this option. Classic, interestingly enough, not going for that route though. Classic opting for that normal mineral, blue mineral base, we'll call it. Blocking off the Reaper access with that core there. We shall see what kind of shenanigans are in play. Classic, I don't think, has done any scouting. No, neither of them. Neither of them content to just be in their base, not caring what the opponent's up to. Classic is opting for a proxy Stargate. Gonna get that Oracle out a fair bit quicker, I would wager. Gonna try to get maybe a little bit of damage done with the Oracle. Not going to be in time, I think, to delay this gold command center, but, it could at least spot this gold base command center. Get a bit of scouting here. The Reaper's going to give the Adept a good old switcheroo. The Shade not going to be too successful there. Unfortunately, neither is the Reaper, because Classic has the Reaper wall down pat. Not finding the Stargate yet either. Doing a bit of movement all around here. Buildings did a bit of add-on swapping. Hellions pop out just in time to get hit by the Adept. It's not an Oracle. Classic going for proxy Void Ray. Intriguing choice. Did find the command center, I believe, yeah, and GuMiho is going to find the forces here. Now, a Void Ray definitely beats Hellion Reaper, in a direct engagement, of course. The Hellion and the Reaper not able to really do much other than stare angrily at that blue laser beam hitting their face. Cyclone comes out, immediately struck to half health, though Void Ray not wanting to take the fight against 2 clones. And I can agree with that. GuMiho looks like opting for a Cyclone drop. Might get the jump on the Void Ray, yeah. If Classic's not careful, losing this Void Ray would be a little bit painful, actually. Taking a lot of hull damage. Second Void will be here to help out. Hellions do make their way into the main base, but they are very low. I think even the probes might be able to help out here. I think one of them wanted to. Very nice. Adepts will find the Hellions. Nothing will be gained from those Hellions. I'm not even sure. No, they did not even kill any workers. Alright. Classic continuing the Void Ray production. Just making like a Void Ray strike team here to go after the gold base. Viking clone will help out. GuMiho hell-bent on actually defending this gold base, it seems. Siege Tank should be more than capable of deflecting the ground units here. The Cyclone and Viking combo, I think, might be able to deal with the Void Rays. Just got to be a little careful, of course. one of the Voids charges up. So all it succeeds in doing is slowing down its movement. Oh, Marine's setting up shop on the other side now. GuMiho doing well, posturing. What is the plan, though? I see adding on a third CC. Extra barracks now. Gonna try and get rid of these pesky Protoss forces occupying the ground outside the gold base. Vikings giving chase to the Voids. All of the Voids actually getting a bit low. One of them will be plucked from the sky. Gonna opt instead just to destroy the Stargate. I believe, yeah, Classic has stopped the Void Ray production. Gave up after the third one. And probably a good idea, because they're not doing too well at this point. Actually, Viking Void Ray will take each other out of the equation, and the rest of the Marines should be enough to handle this, I think, until the shields start to regenerate. The Stargate lives. The Marines lured the Void Ray into a trap. False sense of security there. And I don't think they'll be getting much else done. Nope. Adept here, shutting it all down. Fabulous. Alright. More barracks. How many? Oh my god, GuMiho. Going up to 8 racks. Okay, very nice. Third CC going into that orbital form. On Classic side, what's the Protoss been up to? Been keeping an eye on the Terran for most of this. Classic adding on the Robo Bay even. Getting that thermal lance nice and extended. Everybody's favorite. Of course, why would you want your thermal lance to be any other way? Who wants a receded thermal lance? Nonsense, I say. Absolutely not. The only thing Classic is really lacking now is the army units. 60 probes, of course, hit that threshold for the worker count. Adding on army forces galore now. Charge about halfway done. Be getting zealots. Hopefully, I would like to see the Templar archives at some point too. But honestly, Classic may opt for disruptors as the secondary tech choice for splash damage, I'll say. PvT is a lot of just layering on your splash damage. Oh, how good of GuMiho to leave a little gap here. Let forces actually get through there. That's so cinematic. Army production. Alright, Classic, what are we doing over here with one Colossus that it still does not have its extended thermal lance? This is feeling a little ambitious. The Stargate, I'm surprised, is still actually here. Thus far, decorative. A Templar archives, very nice. Oracle. We have an Oracle. Good for scouting, good for intel. Not going to get a whole lot done, I think, though. The Marines keep popping out, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. Proxy pylon will be found. Force fields. It's been a while since you've seen sentries do harassment. Pinning the SCVs up against the minerals. I like the choice, actually. Very nice from Classic. Recall initiated. Classic knows this army is out on the map. It is not coming to the defense. The very exposed cyber core will be destroyed very quickly. Gonna have to be replaced. Siege tank sets up on the low ground. I see a second group coming out of the base for GuMiho. Charge Zealots now making a move towards both groups here. The Bioforce is in a great position, though, keeping those Zealots off of themselves. Will eventually be cleaned up nonetheless. And it looks like the Stargate is the next victim. This group has no medevac support, though. GuMiho gonna have to be a little bit careful, I think, with hitting that stim button here until some medevacs get here. Where are the medevacs? There's only 3. Gosh, yeah, and 2 of them are being used rather aggressively, might I say. Luckily, most of the forces seem to be Zealots responding, so the medevac's likely to be safe. I don't think there's blink. Well, I said they were going to be safe. GuMiho. Very well then. Just throw that medevac away. Alright. Classic. Looks like getting blink. I think I saw that was Storm that just finished up too. Yeah, warping in some Templar. GuMiho gonna stim though. Might not give Classic the opportunity to actually get any Templar with energy. Flank from the north side. Feedbacks go out on the medevac. Should be helpful. Deny a bit of healing here. The Colossi will stare angrily as they walk those long laser giraffe legs up the ramp, trying to defend the main base. +2 attack was denied. The forge destroyed. Blink actually going to be slowed down. GuMiho sniping off the pylons in particular. Getting the Nexus at this upper left corner too. GuMiho making a little headway here. Classic not able to support a sizable defense. Gosh, Blink halted. +2 denied. That's going to set Classic back a bit. I didn't see how far along the +2 attack was, but having that sniped off is never a fun thing for the Protoss. GuMiho might get to enjoy a rather decent amount of time with a +2 attack advantage. Colossus going to be dropped. A lot of Marauders were set up in there. The Colossus will be destroyed, will be caught. Looks like Classic is opting to try to take the gold base as a replacement here. Meanwhile, GuMiho keeping up the aggression. Drop in the main base. Probes picked off. Probes being focused for just a little bit there. Another recall goes out because GuMiho's over here too. He's hitting everywhere all at the same time. It feels the army supply going more and more in favor of the Terran. Another group out on the map already set to go here. We've been adding in some Widow Mines, which I feel has been moderately helpful, mildly helpful at best, perhaps. Helpful against the Zealots, maybe, but not a whole lot else. I'd pay for the day we see the Colossus die to Widow Mines, though. Just keeps on walking into the Widow Mine shots. Group makes a move at that third base. Good. Gonna focus down the Nexus. Will actually get it, I think, before the Archon able to get there and slap them with its angry hands. Probes picked off at this gold base as well. GuMiho doing wonderfully, keeping up this aggression. Classic is dwindling, I would say. Not dead yet, unless Classic just wants to be dead, but it's not looking good. This gold base is going to be picked off as well, knocking Classic down to 2 bases, which isn't even really 2 full bases. So Classic going with the good old, I don't think I'm doing well, so I'm going to go across to the other side of the map and try to punch my opponent in the face, leaving the Colossi exposed at the back, though. Not going to be very helpful here. That's probes. Okay, now we'll get the job done. Orbital will be lifted because Terran buildings, of course, the most overpowered of buildings, able to float and fly around. GuMiho, I think, should recognize that Classic's making a bit of a desperation move here. Decent storm, sure, cleans up this group, but if GuMiho can just clean up this army in the main base of his own main base, I should say, then the game is pretty much over. The Archons will be destroyed, the Zealots will be eventually cleaned up, and that is going to be it. Classic having a bit of trouble keeping up with the defense for map number 1 here. GuMiho looking good so far. Onwards to map number 2. Map number 2 in the series shall be Golden Aura. The blue Terran here. Bit of a dropper Lord Terran in that last match. Can he keep it up? Take the win. It is GuMiho. And Classic in the bottom right here. I said the name first. That was a complete mistake. The red Protoss, the red probes already introduced. None of us doing well. It is Classic. We're keeping it. We're rolling with it. We do it live, I suppose. That is fine. Alright, Classic, what you got? No attempt at a Reaper wall on this map. Instead, just going with the normal place. I would call it normal placement because, personally speaking, I don't really consider the Reaper wall to be worthwhile. And I know everybody has their own feelings, their own perspective, of course. So I know some, even viewers I know, Reaper won't non-stop in PvT. It doesn't matter what's going on. My issue with it, I'll say, is that it leaves your buildings in such a precarious spot. Like you have your gateway and your core up here. All it takes is one siege tank here. and it starts to be annoying. And I just don't want to get to that point. I just don't even want to deal with that stress. Okay. Therapy bills. Expensive. No interest in that. And it would appear that the other thing that we're seeing no interest in is any initial army units. GuMiho, what are you doing? Not quite a CC first build, but pretty close. It's like, I wanted to do a CC first, but I was afraid somebody would make fun of me if I went CC first. So I'm gonna get the barracks and just not make anything out of it. We'll call it good. Alright then. Initial Marine does come out. Not going to be that Reaper intro. Nexus gonna finish up, and choice shows itself. Classic opting for the Twilight first. No proxy Stargate shenanigans, no strange business out on the map. We'll just keep an eye on the Adept, I suppose. Adept is the first unit to really hit the map. Now GuMiho finishing up that reactor, making one Hellion. Will the factory actually do the swap? I wonder. Make double Hellion, double Cyclone. We saw both of those choices in the last game. Classic opting for a much faster blink. We might be seeing a bit more of a normal PVT opener, I would say. Classic going for the Hellion. Oh god, does not get it. And will actually lose the Adept to trade it out. That Hellion surviving with 2 health. Oh, that's got to be frustrating. The reactor's going to stay on the barracks. Interesting choice. Alright. Adept comes in here. Marines, very focused on hitting those rocks. I can say I didn't expect the Adept to actually come in and offer a slap either. That's okay, GuMiho. Making a tech lab now on that factory. Cyclone will clean up the other Adept here. Classic losing both Adepts. That is not too great, I would say, because now that's going to be less vision, less map control. If Classic had gone for a Stargate opener, it would be less important because you have, of course, things like Oracles, presumably, to keep an eye on what the Terran's doing. But, yeah, not the case here. We're instead going with a 4 Marine drop, which I feel like probably should have been more than 4 Marines if 2 Adepts hadn't completely ruined poor Timmy's day over there while he was focusing on the rocks. These 4 Marines still going to get a respectable amount of damage done, though. The Hellion in the natural, don't think it really got anything done. It was just 1 Hellion, which is barely even something to note down as the Protoss. Okay. The probes could go after 1 Hellion. Come on. Get the surround. Stalkers, looks like they cleaned everything up. And I saw the Robo. Of course, we have the Observer here. Where's the Banshee? Oh, Banshee's over here. Now, GuMiho is opting for the Cloak on this Banshee. No hyperflight yet. Yet, I say, because there is a non-zero chance. It would not surprise me if GuMiho did whip up a hyperflight Cloak Banshee TVP play. Good God. GuMiho looking solid, picking off the observers to where the medevac go. Medevac's still here. Banshee, they're both holding. Is GuMiho going to line up not just a 1-2 punch here with this medevac? It's going to be a 1-2-3 punch. Ground forces moving out. Do they have stem? There's no stem. This is just really going to be up to the siege tanks then. The medevac holding position. 2 stalkers distracted, keeping that in check. Banshee number 2 is going to join Banshee number 1 over on the far right side, and GuMiho lining this up. There's army forces out on the map for Classic 2. This is going to be a little bit of a problem here. Alright, the move is made. Phoenix is out to help defend the main base, which should be helpful at least. The medevac is going to join the Banshees, try to help out, give them a bit of strength. The siege tanks set up in between the natural and the third base in a pretty solid spot. Stalkers forced to come home. Not going to get a whole lot done though. The main base is all cleaned up, but does Classic have enough to actually dislodge this attack. There's one Phoenix. Does it go for the tank? It does. Stalker's blinking forward. The Phoenix, it picked off very quickly, and the rest of the Stalkers now going to die as well. It's over. Wait. Dang. GuMiho coming in with not just a 1-2, a 1-2-3 going for the throat. Classic not going to be able to clean up those siege tanks and actually just going to call it. Too much damage, too much potential. This Terran's looking too much strong, dare I say. Nonetheless, rather action-packed, rather entertaining. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.